Thiruvan Saranai, Meditation on Noble Eightfold Path. We were listening to the session on Noble Eightfold Path. We will discuss the meditation part again. We are participating in a Vipassana meditation program. The full length of the course is 4 days. Today and tomorrow, we do the first 2 days of that 4-day program. So in this program, we learn about Noble Eightfold Path and related meditations. So in the morning, we learned a little but main concepts of the Noble Eightfold Path. What we do in the meditation sessions is we listen to the talks and then we meditate. Here the meditation means thinking, pondering and contemplation. So we take the concepts and then we analyze them taking our own examples and try to understand them through us. So we will see we come to the same terms in that regard. So we will get the higher concentration through that. You might have done meditations differently in the past, but please leave them on a side for these 2 days. Please try to use this method during these 2 days, as otherwise our most valuable time will be a waste. We want to get the most of it. Now we will go to the meditation. We learned the Noble Eightfold Path. There are 8 parts starting from right view, then right thought and so on. Right view is the knowledge of suffering, the knowledge of the cause of suffering, the knowledge of cessation of suffering, the knowledge of path leading to cessation of suffering. So it is suffering. The cause of suffering is craving. So to get rid of suffering, we should get rid of craving. If we give up craving, we will have thought of renunciation. To the extent of renunciation, we will have the non-ill will. To the extent of non-ill will, we will have the non-harming. So we will come to the right thought. If so, we will go through the path non-greed, non-hate, non-delusion. When we think of this path, we have obstacles. We do have bad actions. We have 3 bad bodily actions: killing, stealing, sexual misconduct. Killing leads to hatred. Hatred leads to killing. Stealing leads to greed. Greed leads to stealing. Sexual misconduct leads to delusion. Delusion leads to sexual misconduct. We have 4 bad verbal actions as well: lying, harsh speech, slander, frivolous talks. Lying leads to greed. Greed leads to lying. Harsh speech leads to hatred. Hatred leads to harsh speech. Slander leads to hatred. Hatred leads to slander. Frivolous talks leads to delusion. Delusion leads to frivolous talks. If so, we will have a determination to refrain from these bad actions. With that mind, now our aim of this first meditation is to look at suffering, dukkha. As we have learned, suffering is in 12 ways: birth, aging, sickness, death, pain, sadness, sorrow, lamentation, distress, separation from what is pleasing, union with what is displeasing, not getting what one wants. Out of them, we look at 4 in this meditation: birth, aging, sickness, death. We start with birth. In short, we can have birth in 6 worlds, right? Birth in the hell, birth in the animal realm, birth in the plane of departed, birth in the human world, birth in the Deva world, birth in the Brahma world. Wherever you are born, it is suffering. We can start from the hell. Now take some examples of the hell, and going through them, we try to understand that it is suffering in the hell. We were told about a couple of examples. You can take any example as you wish. Now I go to the examples we learned, he was talking about a person. That person was standing on the heated plate, very hot plate. He was trying very hard to stay on those heated iron plates. Why? Otherwise, next thing is to let him be fallen into the fire below that. Now imagine if we happen to get a punishment like that. We can't even stand on such a thing for a second. We get burned, right? We can't even walk on something hot with barefoot. We run away. So it is very, very painful. And then that person dies, right? Think about that. Hell is suffering. Now don't think that I am a human now, so I won't go to the hell anymore. Because Lord Buddha explained the amount of blood that we shed as a cow is more than the water in the ocean. So imagine how many times we were born as cow. So like that there are more animals like chickens, goats, dogs, many animals. So that many times we were born as animals. So we can't escape that. Then think about the animal realm. You might have seen how painful it is sometimes. Big birds eat little birds, cats eat rats, and so on. You might have experienced, might have seen how one animal is eaten by another animal. So that is so scared, so sad. So they are always in fear. We have houses to live, we have shelters, and if we happen to go on the road at midnight or so, and no one on the road, then we get scared. We get scared that someone will come and hurt us. So that time we are so scared of our life. But those animals are always with that fear. By taking examples in the meditation, think that animal world is suffering. Then think about the plane of departed. They are always in hunger, thirst, and they have bad food, but still they can't even eat that. They are always burning in their mind, so they don't feel like eating. Sometimes they can be happy with our merits. Our merits become their food. So they always suffer. Then think about the human world. We are humans too. So we can think about ourselves. Are we suffering? Question yourself. When we were born, our birth was the time when we went to our mother's womb. So you can start thinking from that moment. We were there for 10 months. Think about it. Think about how bad it was near the urine and excrement. Then we came out crying, then crying with hunger, thirst, and so on. Then we were crying for toys and things like that as well. And then we had to go to school, work, and when we were old enough, we had to get married and having children and so on. Think slowly about these things and see how we suffer from these things. There are so many happy times for us as well. Even to reach those happy times, we have to spend doing things with suffering. Even to have something to eat, think about that process, how you get that. You have to go to school, learn, and then earn money, and then go to the supermarket and collect the food, and then bring them and cook them, and then only you can eat. So to get the happiness of few minutes, you have to spend long time of suffering. So it's not proportionate. Up to this far, did I have a nice time all the time, or did I have bad times and good times and going through suffering all the time? Even I have something nice, next moment I don't have it. So it is suffering. So human world is suffering. Wherever we are born, it is suffering. So in the meditation, you understand that birth is suffering. Then aging. Wherever we are born, we are subject to aging. Now think about it. Our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are also subject to aging. Not only that, because of those, our feelings, perceptions, volitional formations, consciousness, all subject to aging. Now again, you can start from the moment you went to mother's womb. Some babies die in the womb. Until that time, they were aging. We were lucky enough to be alive this far, but still, what are we going through? Aging. Think about how our grandparents' parents aged. We are in the same process. Remember the baby's feeling, how it changed like that. Remember when we were small, we were playing, enjoying, eating nice food kind of thing. Now we can't even run around, can't enjoy the food like before. So we always lose. There's no gain. We think that, when the baby is growing, we think that, it is nice, the baby is growing, but that baby is aging. So we always lose, no gain. Think about your eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, how they are aged. Some people start wearing spectacles when they are little. We try our best to maintain them, but still we can't. We think they are getting better, but no. Rusted nail is getting rusted more and more. Nothing more than that. That is how we are too. I am not away from that. It is there. Next, sickness. If we were born, we are subject to aging, subject to sickness. It is there. We are coming to the world with four sicknesses: hunger, thirst, passing urine, passing excrement. Think about the sicknesses you had in the past and think about the sicknesses you have now: flu, cold, surgeries, and so on. Even you didn't go through any of these sicknesses, we can think about the loved ones we had. Sometimes, they go through many, many sicknesses. Sometimes, we have lunch together with our friends. So happy. And in the evening, you get a phone call saying that your friend is not well. She feels headache or chest pain. Then the trouble starts. So now she goes to the doctor, hospital, and goes through all the tests and so on. And at the end, she won't even come back home. We have many examples because of COVID as well, right? So it was for her yesterday, and it can come to me today or tomorrow or in the future. Our eyes, ears, and all organs get sick. We can't go away from that. Then after sickness, what do we get? The death. The death is the one we think most in the meditation. But we have to think in the order: birth, aging, sickness, death. We said we all go through that, right? When it comes to the death, think about the death of a person you know. Maybe mother, father, grandmother, a good friend of yours, a good relative of yours, and so on. Think how that person came to death. And the death will happen to me too. Now you went to the funeral, you saw the body. Imagine about that body. Put that body in front of you. Then think that I will be dying as well. So put your body in front of that too. Now don't think about how your eyes, ears, and things going to be. Just think about the dead body. Then think, if this body is not buried or not cremated for a few days, what will happen to this body? It will get swollen. There are 9 holes in the body: eyes, ears, 2 holes in the nose, mouth, where you pass urine, where you pass excrement. So the juice will come out. There are worms in the body. The worms will come out. Then they will multiply because of this rotten nature of this body. So just think thoroughly about this body. So we will see the disgusting nature of this body. Think thoroughly about it. At one point, you are so attached to this body. Now you see the disgusting nature of this body. That is the truth. That is the reality. When you really see this is disgusting, you will go into the mind-made body. It will automatically happen. When you reach this point in the meditation, you may feel that your head is so expanded. Sometimes you may see a dead body. That could be a situation you experienced in your one of the past lives. Sometimes you may not realize any difference. Still, you will understand that this body is a disgusting thing. So at that moment, your mind is not attached to this body. So that time is great. Then you try to think, how did I get this disgusting body? To understand that, we use the concentration sutta as we learned. You see that on the screen. There are 5 aggregates of clinging: form, feeling, perception, volitional formation, consciousness. We are clinging to them. There is arising and passing away nature in all these 5. It is a very, very important concept. We try to understand that concept. In this, we look at the arising and passing away of the form. If you want, you can look at the feeling as well in the same way. Now, regarding the form, what does it say? We seek delight of the form, welcome the form, remain hold into the form. Remember these 3. In Pali, we call it Abhinandati, Abhivadati, Ajjosaya. As a consequence of this, the delight arises. Delight of the form is clinging. Clinging as the condition, we get the existence. Existence as the condition, we get the birth. Birth as the condition, we get the aging, sickness, death, and all 12 parts of suffering. So, what do we construct at the end? Whole mass of suffering. So, this is what we try to understand through us. So, Lord Buddha said, we seek delight. Do we do that? We always do. Now, you put it to yourself and see by taking your own examples. If you do the same, you can use that. If not, you can take something that applies to you. If we take the TV example, in TV there are many channels with different programs. You pick the one you like. That is seeking delight of the form. Here the form is TV. What you try to do here is you look at you as someone else. This does not mean you have to stop the things you do. We are trying to understand the process in the meditation. Then what do? You watch the program with someone else or by yourself. Then you start talking or thinking about it. You may be talking to yourself about it or with someone else. What does this mean? You welcome it. Then what do? We don't like to finish it even. Even after that program, our mind is with that. Next day also we want to go and watch it at the same time, the same thing or something similar. This is remain hold into it. If we take another example, if you go to the table with variety of dishes, you pick the dish you want. That is seeking delight. Then you eat with talking or thinking about it. That is welcome in the form. Then you want the same thing again and again or something similar. That is remain hold into the form. Then think about this process. You ask the question again. When I do the seeking delight, welcome it, remain, hold into it, as a consequence, do I have the delight? Yes, we do. I have the enjoyment. Happy to have it again and again. Ask the question yourself. Delight, in short, we say desire to be born again after death. Remember the eating example? When we eat one bite, then we swallow it. We want the next one. What is happening there? When you are eating one bite, you have a feeling and consciousness is aware of the feeling. Once the bite is finished, consciousness died. You take another bite and consciousness is reconstructed. So, in the long term, you want to be born again after death. So, delight means desire to be born again after death. The delight of the form is clinging. You want to have it again. You are clinging to that. Then, clinging as the condition, we get the existence. Existence means existence of the very same craving. Existence as the condition, we get the birth. We have taints. With the taint of existence, we are happy to go on the samsara. The characteristics of the taint of existence are have the aspiration for the form, then we tie to the feeling coming from the form, then we construct our eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and so on for that. We want eyes to look, tongue to taste, and so on, right? So this leads to another birth. Suppose we like chocolates. We want to eat chocolates. We like to see the chocolates, smell the chocolates, and eat the chocolates, right? So, what we ask is a mouth to eat the chocolates. We want to have a tongue to taste the chocolates, right? So, with this craving, we get a mouth. The problem is, ant can eat chocolates as well. So, we don't know what birth we get. Remember, it is like a money box. You put money for TV, food, people, and so on. You have craving from many ways. When you are in the mind made body, you are going to use them in getting a birth. So somehow you get a birth. Still, wherever you are born, you get aging, sickness, death, and whole mass of suffering. So what am I getting at the end? Suffering. After thinking this process, think, how did I let this disgusting body come to arise and this whole mass of suffering? You will say, because of my craving, I get the suffering. Because of feeling, we get this craving. Something like that you will understand. What we will understand is a link in the dependent origination. Think thoroughly. Then at the end, think, how do we stop this suffering one day? Now we saw the path, so we can think of the reverse. If one does not seek delight of the form, does not welcome it, does not remain hold into it, as a consequence of this, delight in the form ceases. You see, we may stop watching TV, still we can welcome it by talking about it, paying attention to it, and so on. In the case of cricket match, you are not watching TV, but you may have planned to watch it again. You may ask the score from your friend. We should not do that either. So, at the end, box will be empty. So, if I don't seek delight, don't welcome it, don't remain holding to it. In Pali, we say Nabi Nandati, Nabi Vadati, Najosaya Tittati. Then there's no delight. If there is no delight, then there is no clinging. If there is no clinging, then there is no existence. If there is no existence, then there is no birth. If there is no birth, then there is no aging, sickness, and so on. Such is the cessation of whole mass of suffering. So think about it at the end. So that is the meditation. In short, at the beginning, we learned the right view, the knowledge of suffering, cause of suffering, that is craving, cessation of suffering, and the path leading to cessation of suffering. And then refrain from bad actions. With that mind, we meditate on suffering, birth, aging, sickness, death. Think thoroughly with your own examples. At the death meditation, at the death, we meditate on dead body. That is the main part. When you realize this is disgusting body, then look at the arising and passing away nature of the form. In the arising part, we look at seeking delight, welcome it, remain holding to that. Then, as the consequence, delight arises. Delight of the form is clinging. Clinging as the condition, we get the existence. Existence as the condition, we get the birth. Then the whole mass of suffering. You take your own examples. You may not watch TV, but you like food. So think about it. Question yourself, do I get the delight from it? Am I clinging to that? Don't I have the craving? And so on. With all this insight, then think like closing the recipe and cooking from the mind. Think, how did I let this disgusting body to arise and this whole mass of suffering? You may get something. Because of the existence, I get the birth. That birth is suffering. So it is a constructed thing. Or at least you may understand, because we have birth, we have the whole mass of suffering. So if you have time, you can think of the feeling as well. After going through the arising part, at the end, you can think of the passing away part. I don't want to have this suffering anymore. So how do I stop it one day? If I don't seek delight, don't welcome, don't remain holding to it, then delight ceases. With the cessation of delight, there is no clinging, there is no existence, then there is no birth. Then that is the cessation of whole mass of suffering. So that is the meditation. Now we will do the meditation for half an hour. Tirvan Saranai.